Mark, one day at a time. So we just hatched some birds out with the help of our sister-in-law and brother-in-law. So we set it up over there, and first time that we used it, this unit right here, my dad actually bought before he passed on a few weeks ago. So we haven't made a whole lot of videos, one day at a time. We've been pretty busy with other things going on. We actually have some more baby goats, more kids running around. But I just wanted to let y'all know this little thing right here. We was really happy with it. It from what we put in there, the hatch rate was what do you think, about 75%? So it was a good hatch rate. It's all digital, all.
And the eggs were taken from a few different places.
Yeah, we have something here.
So that might have had something to do with it. We have a lot of roosters. The guy that some of the eggs come from doesn't have a good ratio of roosters for his hens, I guess you'd say. So we're not sure. We candled them, all that good stuff, and pulled out what we thought. But 48 birds. That's a good ratio.
Yeah, we did good with it, considering everything that went down. So the way it went down is my dad bought it. You know, we was getting ready to set it up with him. He had some complications here, you know, so it worked great. Everything went good. We really just want to let, you know, you two family out there know that we're good. Everything's going well again. My dad did pass on. We truthfully miss him. It was a rough couple of weeks for me and Jean. We went through some stuff. But we know where he's at. We know that he's peaceful. So we just gotta pick up the pieces and move on now. So everybody knows we moved this cabin here for him, and he was here, and so
we enjoyed having him and taking care of him.
We enjoyed taking care of him.
We miss him terribly.
So the complications of the heart. I mean, 8 years ago he had a major heart attack, died, come back. So I mean, 8 years. You know, after having that major heart attack, he lived for 8 years. So we were happy to have him.
He loved it here.
He did.
And he bought this little incubator. He bought this incubator because he was so excited about what we had going on. So he wanted to hatch birds and stuff like that. He got a real joy out of that. So we were fixing to set it up, like Mark said, with him to hatch the birds for my sister and brother-in-law. And he just so happened to go to the hospital. So we went ahead and set it up over there, and it went from there.
Well, he just didn't go to the hospital. I personally had to rush him there. It was traumatic for me. So anyway, we're like I said, we're trying to pick up the pieces and move on. And you know, we got a load here of kids now, and baby chickens. So we have a load to take care of now. So we are moving on. So you'll be seeing us do probably different things, you know, remodeling the cabin and getting things done. So, you know, just to tell you a little bit about my dad, he was a firefighter for years, carpenter, plumbing, you name it. Taught me, you know, 7 years old holding the skill saw, and you know, hunting, fishing, four wheeling. You know, we had a full life together. So
we're going to show y'all these little birds and the new little setup my brother-in-law helped.
And show y'all his monkey.
And then we're going to go back to talking about his dad a little bit after.
His monkey.
And there's Monkey.
There's Monkey.
Monkey's all grown up. So we're going to, because time is of a sensitive nature right now. Vernon's always right here.
That's Vernon.
He's the inspector. So we're going to do that, and we'll
Take the birds out.
just stick with us. All right, so we're fixing to let the little birds out. We have half in here and then half in a box. So I'm just going to shake the little bitties out. Look how cute. Come on, babies.
Hold on, we got to store away.
I'm trying to hold the camera and make sure none of them
Hold on.
jump out.
Hold on. Hold on, Mama. There we go. There's another one.
Okay.
All right, so let's put this up here.
All right, shoo. That little baby bantam.
All right, so here we go.
Go back, baby. Y'all a little too little to be heading toward the door. We're gonna let them out the box, and I'll show y'all.
All right, guys. So this is all hatching. Yeah, it's a mixture.
Well, my sister and her husband's the main ones that hatched them.
Well, yeah,
But we're gonna raise them here until they're of the age. There is a mixture all over. Look, they up here on the
we have
feeders.
some copper morans. Probably
All
there's
kinds.
a couple Royal and Reds maybe.
Some bantams.
There's some bantams in here.
Let me see where the little blind chicken is.
That
Hold
one
on.
over there.
We have a little blind chicken. He's been doing good so far. He was born without eyes, so we're going to see how he does. And then we have a last little teeny tiny baby right here. That was one of the last ones to hatch. And it's more than likely a little bantam. So that's what we have. Little birdies everywhere. Look, peek over here. I'm going to turn it on the side to kind of encourage them to eat out of that side while they little. Look at this. Let's get you back over here to your little legs and jump better. How cute that is, right? Alrighty, so we're going to show you the other project my brother-in-law started for brooder. We had 10 chickens here that we were raising for them. They brought them over here after they were like 2 or 3 days old. And my brother-in-law started building this, and Mark and I finished it. So I'll show you these little guys. We got their food and water here. And then there they are. There's 10 of them here. So they're doing fantastic. But that's what we have going on. Very cute little house. We love it. It's rustic. He started it and he told us we're just going to put it over here. And that way we can help them with the baby chickens while he gets them. You know, we'll get him to the point that he can bring them there so he can have eggs, him and my sister. So there it is. Really cute. They chirping lots, so we're going to have to encourage them to go to the light and find
They'll get better.
their stuff.
We just moved them so they...
Okay, light's over there. Head to the light. Head to the light. Head to the light. Look. Get under the light where it's nice and warm. There we go. Come on. There we go. I think you'll find without the light, but we'll just leave it on for now. Look how adorable. I love the little ones. All right, little guys, get you some food and water. There we go. You're not getting out. No, no, no. We're going to have to be careful when we open and close this little booger because they're already trying to dart and dive. See if we can see them from the other side real quick. And there they are. Let it have time to focus in. This is a brooder that my brother-in-law actually had from years and years ago, and we revamped it and painted it and done some extra stuff to it and new wire and things like that. So second brooder box my brother-in-law actually helped to make. So alrighty guys, we're going to get back to you in just a sec.
All right, guys. So we just was showing y'all the hatching that we did and some stuff that's going on the farm. And so as I mentioned a little bit ago, my dad did pass on. So, but this is a little bit about him. He was a firefighter. Some pictures of him. One of the engines that he operated as an operator. So he was on a hazmat unit.
He was a captain.
He retired captain. So just want to give y'all, this little cabin came here. There was bare walls, wasn't nothing in it.
No walls, just studs.
So we had to plumb it, wire it, insulate it, sheetrock it, and
he wanted the dark gray colors and the gray
right.
trim. We're gonna change that, but
well, yeah, we're gonna put the wood of the ceiling and all that stuff like we planned on. So the ceiling wasn't like totally finished. It had like 1 or 2 coats of mud on it, but
we just had to rush to get him in here and do the best we could.
The main thing is he was living in a little trailer park, pipe busted in the trailer, landlord called me and said he's got to get out of here right now. So me, my aunt, and my uncle and my wife, we went and rescued him, and then we began this journey. We had this thing delivered. Jean and I and my dad went to look at it, and pretty much, we bought it that day and had it delivered like 8 days later, and so it took some doing to get it done. No, it's not totally finished. We didn't have enough time to get the cabinets and stuff, and
when we brought it here, we knew that he wasn't in the greatest of health, and unfortunately, we had planned for that just in case.
Well, all this don't. I'm not really worried about this thing. It don't make me. My main concern was, spiritually, where my dad was fit and where he went. I wouldn't worry about no money or nothing like that. And our relationship at the end, there was a period of time where we talked and everything, and I still was trying to take care of him. It was hard with working, But anyway, so there was a period of time when he had a girlfriend, and he was just enjoying his life with her, and I get it, hey. And then things happened with that, and he was all alone again. And then I came in and said, you know what, can't have this, he's got to have somebody around. So that's why we did this.
And Mark would run back and forth to Slidell to clean, take him shopping, doctors, whatever he needed before we moved him here. We tried to talk him into coming a long time ago, but because he had roots in Louisiana, he didn't want to come, but it worked out.
Well,
that
God eventually did what God did, and God moved him out of there. God moved him here, and it was God's timing. It wasn't nothing I could do. I mean, I rushed him as fast as I could to the hospital. I did everything I could do. The doctors did everything they could do, and it was God's timing. And I guess the main point of this video is, to me, you get one dad, one mom, one wife, one kid, whatever. You get a shot at one time to take care of who you need to take care of. And
so make it count.
That's the main thing for me right now. And honor him. I'm trying to give him a little honoring right now of what he did and who he was. So, guys, really, truly, I don't know who this is going to reach out there. I don't know. I know we have like 1,700 subscribers to this channel. if you're alive right now and your mommy or daddy or whoever needs help, help them. Make time. Make time. Because I'm telling you, I would give everything up just to have another day. But like I said, God healed the relationship. God gave us time, and at the end, we was good. And I knew that. He knew that.
And we were blessed for having him.
Even the point of him being in a truck and he was in and out of it, and he would wake up and say, "You don't have to go so fast, son. If I'm gonna make it or not," I'm like, you just hang on. I got to get you there, and you know.
We're out in the middle of nowhere, basically, and there are no ambulances, so...
There wasn't an ambulance or a state
Mark
trooper.
was the one that had to get him there.
There wasn't an ambulance or a state trooper for an hour. I was doing 120, whatever the truck would run, and I was on 911, and nobody was answering me. No, they had nothing to come and help me. And I'm like, normally I do. You can go down the interstate and do 90 and probably get pulled over in 5 seconds. And it was just weird. They wasn't nobody on the interstate. They wasn't nothing. And it was like, I thought I was in some kind of twilight zone because there wasn't nothing. So finally, I got a hold of the emergency room where we had to go. And at least they answered, and they had...
Which was a little more than an hour away.
Yeah.
Because that's where all his doctors were.
Yeah.
Before he moved him here.
So I was trying to get him to his doctor.
Where they were familiar with him.
Some of the other ERs up here just don't have what it takes, and we knew that. And but anyway, this was my dad. So
whatever you do, if you have a loved one, encourage them to make sure they know Jesus as their Lord and Savior before they take their last breath too.
That was one of my points. Is it may be uncomfortable for you as a Christian, or not just a Christian, but a believer, that Jesus died on the cross. To be that kind of believer and believe what He did for us. John 3:16. What He did, what we should be doing. And I sat right here at this kitchen table and had so many conversations with my dad. So many conversations.
Me too.
And was it awkward? It was. It was weird. Here I am telling my dad, what I believe in, and he raised me, and it's like it was just. Sometimes it was real awkward, but at the end, I could tell he
knew the Lord.
He was grateful that me and him got to talk like that. Yep. He was grateful that we got to discuss eternity and what Jesus was to him and to me. So I don't care who it is. It may be awkward. It may be like you may feel like, man, I can't do this. I can't. My mouth can't even open right now, because that's how it was the first few times when I was like trying to talk to him and get him to quit, saying certain words and that. He was an old school firefighter, carpenter. I mean, he knew a lot. He was a genius. There's no doubt about it. There's this folder right here. This is all certificates from hazmat training, firefighting, all this whole folder is certificates. So truthfully missing, I know he's in a better place. That's not my struggle. My struggle is just every day, not walking in his cabin,
wishing we had more time
and not
with
hearing
him.
"Good morning, son." And but no regrets, because I know that Gene and I did everything in our power to take care of him,
And to give him a good, happy life.
I know his last birthday, his last Christmas, everything was like just what he wanted. You know, he got his Paul pastry cake. He you know, he had his turkey, he had his ham, he had his last year. I know it was good. It was good.
Yep.
So, guys, I'm going to quit rambling on. I just want to tell you a little bit about my dad and about what one day at a time has been through. Um,
And we lost a niece, and
we
just a few weeks prior to that, of
this,
cancer, 36 years old.
This is not designed to be a Debbie Downer. I don't want anybody getting down, and you don't have to comment. You don't have to say nothing to me. This is just
Just why we haven't been able to make a whole lot of videos lately.
Well, and that's not even my problem right now. I want people to know that God is real and Jesus is real, and I've seen things in the last few weeks. I've seen it. I felt it. I prayed about things. It's real. It's so real. You can feel it. You can touch it. And I just want anybody out there to know it's real. It's real. It ain't all this glamour. You go to church. It's not that. It is real. When you're dealing with somebody you love and somebody that it's real. It's not fake. So, we've been church for a long time. We've been through some pastors, and right now, I could tell you it's real. So whatever you do, love your loved ones, be there for your loved ones, and hey, if you tell them about Jesus and they turn the cheek, just pray for them. Pray for them. Maybe that seed you planted will open up that door that needs to be opened. So look, one day at a time, we're good. Gene and I, we're working on things. We're restarting our business. We're got a lot going on. So bear with us. There will be some more videos. There'll be some more of the baby chicks and the baby goats. We're actually going to try to hatch some turkeys and try to hatch some guinea hens. So we're going to try to, keep hatching stuff and moving on with everything. So guys, we thank y'all for watching. Like I said, this is not a Debbie Downer. This is a celebration of life for me. I'm just celebrating my dad. I'm letting y'all know who he was. And
As always, thanks for doing life together with us one day at a time.
Yep. Thank you.